Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and it's Saturday. Slashback Saturday. This is the segment my good buddy Joe, the horror man, came up with, where he picks a theme, we watch a slasher movie based on that theme, and do a short review. Now, as you're seeing this, we may or may not have a third Slash brother, because the Patriots lost in the playoffs. So, if you guys are watching the Slash Brothers stream right now, this will be going up a little bit later, and I guess we'll find out then. So I figured I would take the time to mess with my buddy Joe a little bit. This week's theme was modern day slashers, and that would be the decade 2010 to 2019. And I decided to pick Machete Joe, unrated. Now, Machete Joe, unrated, is a 2010 film which runs approximately 81 minutes and is directed by Sasha Crane. Now, the only thing I could find that she did was a movie called Solitary. Now, this has a cameo, well, not really a cameo, he does have a little bit bigger of a part, but this stars Ernie Hudson as Sheriff Taylor. Now, of course, he was in Ghostbusters 1 and 2, Leviathan, and The Crow. This also stars Erica Grimple as Erica. She was in No Such Thing, the Freaky Friday remake, and Sex, Death, and Bowling. Never heard of that one. This also stars Paul Campbell as Machete Joe. He was in The Lunatic, Clash, and Third World Cop. Now, a couple interesting things about this. Gordon Green wrote the script in 30 days, and Paul Campbell, who played Machete Joe, spent 8 to 9 hours a day in the makeup chair for his role of Machete Joe. Oh boy. Now I picked this, of course, to mess with my buddy Joe. Maybe I should have picked a better one. This movie is not very good, and I've heard that over the years that it wasn't very good, but I tend to like movies that a lot of people don't like. And there were some things about this movie that I did like. Let me get into the plot synopsis. In the beginning, you find out Machete Joe's backstory, although it doesn't really tell you it's his backstory. You don't find out till later. Machete Joe was a young kid. His mom is a prostitute, and as she's has a John coming in, he's watching from the other room. Basically, the walls are cardboard, so they're poor. And the guy takes his pants off, and the mom laughs. So he proceeds to rape her and beat her. And the kid comes out and tries to help his mom. And the guy holds him down and pours boiling hot water all over his face and neck area. Then it skips forward to many years later. This was in, I believe, 1974. It skips forward to the 80s, I do believe, where you're with a group of people who are making a movie called Machete Man. You have your director, your producer, your actors, and about 40 minutes of the movie is basically them arguing with each other, yelling at each other, and trying to get scenes on film. About the 41-minute mark is when Machete Joe starts coming in and hacking up the people one by one. That's basically the story. Now we'll get into the good parts and the bad parts. The makeup, let's see how I can explain this. I thought it was good, but after reading, actually I read it before I watched the film. After reading that, I guess I expected it to be a little bit better since he spent 8 to 9 hours in the chair. I mean, it was good, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I guess I just expected better. The gore kind of comes on gradually in the film. It's an hour or it's 81 minutes, and for the first hour, there basically wasn't any gore. And that's even when Machete Joe starts to dispatch his victims. The gore starts to come in a little bit, but I still don't really understand why it's unrated. But, oh well. Another thing I didn't like about the film. The people who are making the film, they act pretty good when they're in front of the camera. But when it's just them being themselves, all of a sudden they can't act. I found that to be really weird and kind of took me out of the film a little bit. It's an okay story. The thing about this movie is it had so much potential. It had a lot of potential, and I saw that potential, and it made my heart hurt a little bit because I wanted it to be so much better than it was. Granted, I did pick this to mess with my buddy Joe, who, of course, may or may not be a Slash brother at this moment, but I think he will. But yeah, I saw the potential, and it just wasn't there. But definitely see what Joe picked and what our theme is for next week. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.